चमोड़ को रिमूव करता है. ओके, इसमें बैनर ऐड कर दें. स्पॉन्सर में हेल्म के लोगों का वेट करते हैं. ओके, व्यूअर्स हैं हमारे पास 3 लोग अभी हैं. तो स्टार्ट करते हैं.
Hey everybody, how everyone is doing today? Okay, so this will be the last session. We will continue after Eid, and oh hi.
Hey, hey one. Um, I guess we have already have visitors. Other you continue with the introduction. I am answering the chat in the YouTube comment section.
Okay, we are just waiting for the people so they can join, and we can start with Chamod and Chamod just joining us in second.
Yeah, he's going to join as well. Okay, guys. Before we start our session, a quick introduction for what we have done so far, and what this session will primarily cover. In the first session of this series, we have covered the basis of Kubernetes, how to use it, and how to play around with the KubeCamp environment, the playground that we had developed at KCD Lahore. The second session was with the next level of the iteration, where we discovered the a little bit advanced topics, how to like play with them, and what we can do with these technologies. Furthermore, excelling forward, we had our fourth session, our third session, in which we explored the whole world of security with Kubernetes and what are the do's and don'ts of that world. In today's session, this is primarily a tough subject, or the advanced side of Kubernetes, where we are going to work with Helm. And just to give you a perspective, what this session is going to be about, if you have worked with any sort of package manager, either that be APTs in case of Ubuntu's or Debian based Linux, or Pacman in case of the Arch-based Linux versions. Similarly, Kubernetes or Helm performs as a package manager for the Kubernetes environment. It allows continuous integration and deployment of your code, and also with Kubernetes enabled at the backend, your deployment will also be scalable and can also be moved back and forth. So this will be the world of the side of things that we're going to explore today. And for today's session, it is going to be a very unique one because it is our first collab with an international community led that we KC Sri Lanka now. And for the today's speaker is Perera. He is a veteran in the community space, has done a lot of amazing work during his career so far, and he's going to be our team guest today. And meanwhile, me and Adil will be your host, like the previous sessions, and you can drop any question whatsoever that you want in either the comment section of YouTube or on LinkedIn, and we're going to answer them back and forth during the session. And as always, there will be attendance form that will be shared with you guys towards the end of the session, and during after the session, the certificate will be dispatched. Furthermore, during this session, you guys can drop your questions, or at the end of the session today, we're gonna take all your questions together via Meetup because Eid is coming up, and we're gonna keep the session brief. And I think we are at 10:36. We're gonna wait a few more minutes. Chamod is gonna join us as well, and then we can start a session.
So after Eid, we are coming with a new series, which will be based on the three cloud: Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS, Amazon Web Services. So we will start with Amazon Web Services EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service, and it will have five sessions, and it will be starting from the end of this month. So join the KCD Lahore meetup, LinkedIn, and yeah.
Awesome. Okay, guys, we're gonna start a session. Jamord is here with us on the backstage, and soon we're gonna hand over the virtual baton of the baton of the platform to him. and he's gonna sail from there onwards. And you guys can ask your question meanwhile, and we'll be on the backstage. It is 10:37 for our end. At exact 10:40, we will swap the places with Jamod, and he's gonna start the session. Okay. Meanwhile, let me just quickly check if you have anything happening on the other platforms. Okay, guys, Jamod is here with us, and he's gonna soon take over the session for us. It is 10:38 currently, and at exactly 10:40, we're gonna swap places with him. Um, and after that, you guys can just start asking your questions, and we will answer them as usual. I'm just checking our meetups chat if, in case we have something there. There, I think everything is okay. Others, should we go live with Jamod?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm putting this on the backstage. Just give me a sec. Okay, Chamod, the stage is yours, and you can now continue the session. Let me just put myself on the backstage as well.
So hello everyone. My name is Chamod Perera and greetings from Sri Lanka. So today I'm gonna talk about smooth sailing with Helm. It's actually a beginner-friendly session where I gonna discuss about what is Helm and beginner stuff of Helm, as well as I'm gonna show a small demonstration about how to use Helm as well. So before we get into the session, let me give a brief introduction about me. Uh, so, again, I'm Chamod Perera. So, I'm a CNCF ambassador. I'm working as a software engineer. I'm a Github Field Expert, and also I'm organizing Kubernetes Sri Lanka, KCD Sri Lanka, and GDG Sri Lanka. So, if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me via my social handles and or my website. So, uh, what is Helm? So, if you know, in OS, there are several package managers you can use, right? So, for the Linux, you can use apt, uh, uh, and Windows Yum, or in macOS, you can use Homebrew. So in Helm, it's like a package manager for Kubernetes. So if you do have a development background, you know that in the like a Node.js application, npm is a package manager, right? So you can, whenever you want, you can you uh, use and install existing packages for your application using npm, right? So likewise, Helm is a package manager for Kubernetes. You can use a package of YAML files and distribute them to other people, or maybe it can be an internal distribution for your organization or your public as well. So I think maybe you don't get the whole idea about Helm. Maybe you might get confused. So let me explain it with some scenarios. So So Helm we can use as a template engine. For an example, imagine you have a microservice application, as you can in the left side diagram. So each microservice deployment and service YAML configs are pretty much same, except their image name and tags. So if you don't use package manager or template engine uh, like Helm, you will have to write a separate microservice, uh, separate YAML files for microservice, such as you have to write the deployment YAML files and the service YAML file. So if your application is more complex, you would have to define the secrets, image pool policies, config maps, so many things, right? So, so with the use of Helm, you can define a common template and use them with your requirements, and the values are dynamic. So, and the with your replace with your YAML template with placeholders. So I will show that in the next slide. So likewise, so you can see that in the previous slide we saw that the normal YAML definition, but here's the template YAML config. So here there are special placeholder for input the Helm values. So it comes with double curly braces with the dot values. Then you can access the common configuration value file, and placeholder values are comes from actually a separate YAML file. I will show it very explained in the demo. So let me tell you another scenario where you can use Helm. Uh, so let's say you have a in new application. We usually will have to deploy our application into a different environment or stages, right? So basically it goes as a dev, staging, then prod, maybe UAT. There are so many environments you can have if you want, right? So uh, when you're deploying the deploy into different environment, you will have to change their uh, configuration manifest files. uh, it, you only need to change a image and very small part of the manifest file, but it's kind of hassle to do that, right? So if you use Helm, it's not it will be very easier for you to work. So because it's work as a template engine, so you can use the same template, and you can change the values files, and using that template you can deploy your entire application microservices to a different environments without a hassle, right? So let's say so here's the another scenario you can use Helm. So let's say you want to install Elastic Stack for login your application. In order to achieve that, you will have to deploy various Kubernetes components, including stateful sets, config maps, uh, Kubernetes user roles, secret services, you name it, right? So if you uh, don't use a package manager like Helm, you will have to search these manifest file on internet, and you will have to define those manifest file and manually apply it, right? It kind of very boring thing to do. So and another thing is the already people have went through this the same process, and there's a no point of inventing the wheel again, right? So if people have already done these things, you can simply use it, right? So like a reusable component. So when you use Helm, you can easily find a Helm chart which is relevant to the uh, Elastic Stack. You can install it to your cluster, and you just need to do some modification for the some parameters. Then you can have the entire Elastic Stack for your Kubernetes cluster. So I will show how you can find the uh, Elastic packages like Elastic Stack. Okay, so you can go to the artifact hub, and there you can find the free Helm repositories, uh, public Helm repositories and charts, and even you can use a Helm hub, or even GitHub. You can find open source Helm charts and repositories. And so, as I said earlier, when you are working with your organization, you might have some internal uh, Helm configuration files to share. So in that case, you can use internal private registries to install some same kind of a setup to install things to your cluster within the organization. Okay, so let me show some uh, how to create a Helm chart using Helm. So before that, you need to install Helm onto your computer. So in order to do that, you can just go to your browser and search Helm install. Okay. The first thing is you need to download Helm. Helm CLI. Okay, so this will go to the Helm docs, official Helm docs. So there you can find the official documentation for the Helm. So you can download the this as a binary version from here. So it will go to GitHub, and you can download their latest release, or you can download it as a from this script running by this script. Or like since I'm using Mac, I can easily install with Brew. It's a package manager for macOS. So I just need to Brew install him. Since I have already installed it, I'm not going to do that again. So like if you are using Windows and you do have this Chocolately package manager, you can install Helm with Choco install Kubernetes dash Helm, or you can do with this scope. If you are using Ubuntu, you can use with apt or Fedora. You can use Yum. Yeah, likewise. So there are so much way you can install Helm CLI to your OS. That's depend on your OS. So yeah, since I have done, let me show that how to create a Helm chart on your machine. Okay, so first thing is go to your file explorer, and so here I'm going to open my terminal from here. So here I have already installed Helm. So let me show. When I run this Helm command, it will show what are the Helm package managers commands available. These are the available commands. Okay, so to create a Helm chart, we need to run Helm create then uh, then we need to put the Helm chart name. So I'm gonna name my Helm chart as KCD Lahore 2024. Okay. Then when I run it, it will it will get created a new Helm chart. So as you can see in the my file explorer, some files are created inside this workshop folder. So let me open this using VS Code so that I can show you what inside. Okay, so here we have uh, some files and folders. So the first one I will show you the charts. So here it's contain the name of this Helm chart and the description. So you don't need to do any modification for in here. The most important part are in the values and the template. So as I said earlier, uh, we are injecting values into a Helm template. So those templates files are inside this templates folder. So let me show some of the file. Yeah, so let me show the deployment YAML file. So this is the template generated by the Helm CLI. We can use for uh, creating a new deployment on this Helm chart. So instead, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a deployment and service, and I'm going to remove the rest of the templates from here. So I will put them into a different folder because we don't need everything in here. Original template. So I just create a folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and yeah, I moved deployment. Yeah, I kept the deployment YAML file and the service YAML file. I removed the everything else to this original template file. Okay, so now we need to do some modification to this deployment YAML file. So the here actually, as I said earlier, these are placeholder. These values are getting from the values this value.yaml file, right? So here it has defined the image. It's from this repository. This is the pull policy. So when we go back to deployment YAML file, you can see the image is getting from values.image.repository, and the image tags also here. Currently it's empty, so it's getting the default one. Okay, so before we install this Helm chart, I'm going to do some modification. I'm going to put some values to this value.yaml file. Okay, so first one is okay. So here I'm going to put a name for our application. App name KCD Lahore, then the app version, and then the namespace. For the namespace, I'm gonna put dev because I have created a new namespace in my cluster, so I'm using dev. Then the in the service, I'm move this. So instead of cluster IP, I'm changing this to a load balancer, and the port is remain same. Okay, so let's go back to the deployment. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this and get this from values dot app name. Then there is no field for namespace, so I'm going to put namespace. Actually, Copilot is helping me out with these modifications. For the labels, I'm going to use app and name specs. Then in the selector, in the selector also, I'm going to put this label. Okay, then the template metadata, we don't have any code annotations. So that I'm removing that part as well. Then going to put the label again here. Okay, since I'm using the Nginx image, it's a open one. It's a public image, so I don't need to use any image full secret for this one. So if your application have is a it's in a private registry, you definitely use image full secret. So in this demo, I'm not going to use that. So I'm using image full secrets, and yeah, you just need to remove this part. Yeah, I'm removing this. We in our deployment file, in our deployment, we don't have any volume mouse, so any of these. So I'm simply removing unnecessary things because it's a simple demo application. Okay. I think everything is okay here. So let me change the service file as well. So here as a service name, I'm going to put dot values dot app name in the service. Yeah, we need to put the namespace as well. Namespace. Type. Various types. So for this service, the type is getting from the values, values.service.type, which is this one, and the target port is HTTP. I'm going to remain these things at class. So I'm going to remove the select part as well. Okay. So I think our Helm chart is good to go. Okay. So when we are when we are installing, yeah, I forgot to mention that to use Helm, definitely we need to have a Kubernetes cluster, right? So for that, I'm using a Minikube. So if you haven't heard Minikube is a you can use Minikube for spinning up a Kubernetes cluster on your machine. So you would basically need Docker. So it's run top on Docker. So you can, if you want to practice Kubernetes stuff, you can just Google the Google Minikube and download it, and you can spin up the Minikube with Minikube start. Then you can have your own cluster. But the only problem is Minikube has only one node, so you don't do so much work on that, but to practice, that's more than enough. Okay, so I'm going to install. Before that, let me show my namespace. kubectl get ns. Yeah, so as you can see, I do have a dev uh, inside my cluster. So to run, we just create, to install, we just created Helm chart. What I need to do is I need to run Helm install. Then here I need to put the release name of that. So I'm going to put KCD Laho 2024. Then the release one. Then since this is an internal Helm chart, I can simply put KCD Laho. Okay, when I hit enter and execute it, it says the CLI will provide me a output, says name KCD release one, last deployed time, and the namespace. And because when we are deploying, we can put dash n to specify the deployment from the Helm command as well. Since we have already defined it inside the Helm chart, we don't need to do that. And the revision test, yeah, we don't have any test. Okay, so let me ctl get deploy and dev. Yeah, so as you can see, the deployment has created for our application. And another thing is we also create a service, right? So let's see what happened to that. kubectl get deploy get svc, then the dash. Okay, so as you can see, so new service has created under the type load balancer. Okay, now now imagine, so with the simple one command, I did the deployment using this Helm chart. So imagine you want to change this, you want to reuse this template. You just need to change the values. From here you can change the repository name for the if you want to put a different image, you can simply put the image name here, and you can do the any modification here and easily deploy it here. Okay, so let's say and another thing is it's very easier to remove those release as well. So for an example, let's say if you don't use Helm, you have to delete the services deployment, everything manually, right? So if you, when you use it with Helm, you can definitely easily remove it by simply Helm uninstall and the release name. The release name I will show it it later. Okay, so let's go back to slide. Next thing I want to show you is Helm hooks. So I think you are you might be familiar with Git hooks, right? So in Git we use pre-commit hooks to do some LinkedIn tests, maybe run some testing uh, before committing or uh, do some Git execution. So likewise, the same kind of things have in Helm as well. So Helm actually provide a hook mechanism to allow to developer to interact with different life cycle in Helm. So uh, so hooks are often used to run database migration as a part of a Helm release. So let's say in your application, after your application release, you need to restore some data backups from your existing or somewhere from your databases to a new one. So you can use that. Can you do that as well? So and another thing is you can use Helm for the cleanup task. So so let's say Helm release is uninstalled or deleted. So for an example, you can use pre-delete hook to delete associated resources or perform cleanup operation before deleting the main resources of a Helm. And another use case of Helm hooks is you can use Helm hook to perform checks or validation before deploying an application. For example, let's say uh, in your microservices there are some dependent services. So so before deploying some of the dependent microservices, you can run pre-install who can check whether the dependent uh, microservices are already in the cluster or not. Okay, so let me show you how to create a Helm hook. Okay, so in order to create a Helm hook, you need to go to template. So inside this folder, you need to create a new folder. And name it as a hook. So inside of that, you need to create a file, template file. Uh, pre install.yaml. Okay, so here, so basically, Helm hook is some sort of a job, Kubernetes job. It's actually Kubernetes jobs are for do some certain work, and once it's done, it will not run in. So let me v1 kind is job. Then the metadata name. So I'm going to name this jobs as a pre-install hook, and the namespace is dev. Sorry, we should get the namespace from the values file. The namespace, yeah, that's correct. Then the spec. Template spec, then the containers, pre-install hook. Okay, so here the Copilot suggested this as this one image. coming from pre-installed image. Okay, so we need to create this value here. Uh, image. So I'm using Alpine latest. And the command should be because I'm trying to print something inside that Alpine security printers. Okay, and the restart policy is args. We are not providing any args. Policy name and the back off limit. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to make a new release using this Helm chart. So in order to achieve that, we can simply we need to upgrade our Helm chart existing one. So can do a Helm upgrade, and our release one KCD Lahore 2024, and the release one. Yeah, this is our name. Okay, something wrong in pre. Okay, thing. Right here. So let me use some existing job I have created already. Okay. So let's try to upgrade it again. Yeah, it's got deployed. Okay, so so we need to check whether our pre-install hook got executed or not. To view that, we can simply run course ctl get jobs, then the okay. So as you can see, already this jobs has been completed. So let's see, we put a message right to echo this one to print this one. So in order to view that, we need to view the logs from that job. So in order to view that, let me just view the all the ports, and yeah, this one. So let me show the logs of this job here. Logs, what name, and the namespace. Okay, so as you can see, this is uh, the paragraph we put to print inside that job, Alpine image job, right? This pre-install job. So as you can see, it got executed and it has printed this. So I just wanted to show you how the pre-install uh, work. So likewise, this is not a best example. In order to show you how we can use pre-install hooks inside Helm chart. So like I said earlier, so imagine we can do some uh, database migration and real use case of this pre-install, and there are other hooks as well, like uh, pre uh, delete and pause install. There are so many other available hooks are there. So uh, based on the scenario, you can use them. Okay, so let me go back to slide. So let me tell you some of the best practices you can use when you are creating and working with Helm charts. So the first one is chart names. Sorry, the naming convention. So chart name must be lowercase letters and numbers. So every words may be separated with dashes. So you cannot use uppercase letters or underscore to separate chart names. So and and also you cannot use dots in chart names. And the next one is variable name should begin with lowercase letter. So as I have used also, yeah. So I hope you can see it. Okay, so variable name should begin with lowercase letter and word should be separate with camel case. So that's how I define this app name. And yeah, so as you can see, there are some other values as well. So it's also in the same pattern, right? Camel case, the first letter simple, and the word separated with the capital letter. So and another thing is where possible, use version ranges instead of pinning an extra version. So this actually useful when you are using some other charts in your Helm chart. So it's like a dependent charts. So in this in here you can define them, what are the dependent Helm chart. So uh, to work on your Helm chart. So in reality in DevOps, so when you are using when we do some deployment, so you can apply Helm chart with CI/CD pipelines like Jenkins. So all we need to do is so let's say for an example, we do have a 10 microservices to deploy it, but you just need one Helm chart, and so you can use the same template and you just need to change the values of each one. So so in the pipeline you can uh, inject the different values for each microservice and get deployed all of your microservices using a uh, only one Helm chart. So uh, that's how you can apply this in real world. So I think I hope you learned uh, some of the things from this session. So and thank you. That's all I had to share today. And connect with me via my uh, these social handles using this at Chamor Sri Lanka handle, and now you can connect with me on my website. And I would like to thank Adil for uh, friendly invite for do a session for KCD Lahore. And once again, thank you.
Thank you so much, Amar, for the amazing session. It was deeply interesting and a lot insightful the way you explained the whole concepts and the intricacies of the Helm with Kubernetes. I hope everyone has had a great time today. We know today's session was a bit hard for the beginners, but we have tried to keep it precise and concise for you guys. And for the time shortage, and also to keep in consideration that Eid is around the corner, we are moving the question session directly to our meetup. You can just go there and ask your questions there, or you can directly go to our LinkedIn page and drop the question in the page inbox. And Chamod will personally answer those questions for you there, or you can just casually drop all your questions in the comment section on YouTube, and we can on and off answer them for you guys. And thank you so much for everyone who has filled their form so far. I have so far got 24 responses, a bit low as compared to the last session, but it was expected because the session was kind of a bit technical for most. And I hope you guys have like gained a lot of positive value and a good takeaway from this session. And yeah, off to other anything do you want to add to the session? I think Jamod has gone offline because I think it's 12 a.m. for his side because he is in Sri Lanka, and it's
That's good
probably
for him.
yeah.
But it was a brilliant session, and Kubernetes is very essential. But Helm creating Helm chart, understanding them, and this session is perfectly done. Thank you, Chamot, for coming and accepting my invite. And also, I would like to announce that we are going to have another series of public clouds, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, where we will cover EKS, AKS, and GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine. And we will have a 5 session, and we will start it with AWS EKS with proper documentation we are currently working on and the labs. But well, we are trying to get AWS labs for you, but we will trying our best. But this is it. Please follow us on Meetup and LinkedIn to get notified. But I will highly recommend you to get connect with us on Meetup, so you will get the latest announcement and install the Meetup application. So you not only interact with the CNCF Lahore and Kubernetes community, but there are also very wonderful other communities on Meetup. So you will get chances to increase your knowledge, meet with new people. So I would highly recommend you. And this is it. You can ask us your questions, you can send us your feedback, you can message us if you are very passionate to help the communities with your knowledge. Please drop us a message. We would love to have your sessions if they are on Kubernetes. And also, if you are very passionate in writing, like writing article, we have now more than 1000 subscribers on our newsletter. I'm not sure, but around 700 to 800, and it's growing. So if you are very passionate to help us with the Kubernetes knowledge, then you can drop us a message. We are open community, and we will love to have you and have your contributions. Yeah. So that's it from my
So
side. Thank you.
awesome.
And yeah.
And guys, on the note of the articles and the newsletter that Arthur just mentioned, the note for today's session will be rolled out shortly after this session. They've already been prepared, and you guys can go in depth with that. And that alongside the code that Jamon has shown you today will also be provided in the note section that you can explore. And the code is always available on the GitHub, so you can play with that. Furthermore, the cube camp and the playground are still live. You guys can still go there, perform the exercises, and win your badges. And one thing to mention, a little bit of delay has been was expected and has been seen in case of the certification for the previous week's event. It is due to the fact that we have to move our SMTP servers from one place to another, because we are facing a lot of traffic from you guys, and to better cater you in a nice way, we have upgraded our systems so we can better provide you with much more usable and much more premium credentials. So all of the certificates for the previous session will be dispatched either today or by tomorrow, and for this week's session the certificate will be dispatched on the usual day, that is Tuesday or Thursday. And yeah, it was great having you all here. And if there's anything that you want to ask or discuss with us, feel free to reach out me or Adil directly on LinkedIn, or just drop a message on CNCF, sorry, KCD's Lahore channel, or on CNCF Lahore. It is up to you. And yeah, I'm going to close the review form after session. And if you guys want to connect with Shamod, I'm quickly dropping his LinkedIn profile both on the LinkedIn event section and on the YouTube as well. Just give me a sec. Do
Also,
connect with.
Moise mentioned about the badges and the certification. So I already give you a disclaimer, kind of, that if you get the certificate or a badge, it's just for your motivations. It doesn't mean that you just did the boot camp and all that. I totally believe on the skills, and if you do hands-on and solving the problems. And creating the problems and then solving them. There are a lot of GitHub repositories and code available. So I would highly suggest you to first of all contribute, and secondly better up your skills for the Kubernetes by learning new skills and hands-on. And these badges and certifications are just for your motivation. Share with your friends and on social media to showcase. But don't, after getting this, don't say that I'm not now Kubernetes expert. Just a disclaimer, because a lot
Yeah,
of people ask me that now I get the certificate, can I get the job? And I was like, no, I don't know, but I can say if you are very passionate, then you can definitely get a job.
yeah, that was a mandatory point to be assured, because the whole environment with Kubernetes and the playground that we invented, it is after a very great start, but it is at the end the very first step of your journey, right? You're gonna expect what a person who has done invested about 3 or 4 years into this to have the same knowledge that you have. So be diligent with your time investment. Learn with doing, learn in public, share with your peers, and keep attending session like this one, and keep supporting the open source community, because via this you can do things that you haven't imagined yet. And job is just one aspect. You can go far and beyond with this tech stack. um, Also, guys, I have dropped the three links in the comment section. The meetup link for the CNCF Lahore, you guys can join that. It is already at 550 followers, our members. You can join them for our next coming up sessions. Furthermore, I've shared the link for Chamor's profile both on LinkedIn and on the YouTube comment section. You can add him and feel free to ask any question regarding this session. And you guys can always reach us both on our LinkedIn as well. And yeah, and apologies for not taking your questions today, as we do in the last sessions, because of the time shortage, but we will answer them after the event, so you can just share them here or on the LinkedIn. And the form will stay open for about like 10 or 30 minutes after the session. But after that, I will close it up, and your certificate will be dispatched either today or by tomorrow. And thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, Amod, that you have given us time from all the way from Sri Lanka. It was amazing to have you. And yeah, others, should we
Yeah.
wrap up? We are
So thank you all for joining us and giving us your time. And I hope you learned today about the Helm and the Helm charts. It's very difficult to get started, but after getting expertise, or you do hands-on, get some hands-on and make some your hands dirty by having some labs. You can also try our playground. You can the cluster is there. You can make customize according to yours. And Also, we the connection is now open on the meetups. You can make new friends, get connected with the organizers. That's it. So thank you all for coming today. And in case if you have any question or anything, feel free to ask on. Uh, you can definitely reach out to us, or you can definitely message us on LinkedIn, so we can get back to you. Uh, that's it. So thank you, and see you in AWS EK series. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being a part of this stage, and we'll see you guys soon. And take care, everyone. Have a happy Eid. Those who are celebrating, and yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Okay, I'm wrapping up the session. Okay, guys. Bye.